been a long wait, no? Can you tell us about it?
The shoot was complete well before the lockdown, and
Mm,
we were all set for April or May 2020 release.
mm,
So it was tough on all of us, and the post production, the CG team took advantage of this time, and they were able to work from, I think, May.
mm,
So in
mm.
fact, the CG supervisor said, we were able to achieve better standards because of the lockdown. So that's the
Okay,
silver lining in this dark
silver
cloud.
lining. So, as a director, do you take as much time as you want to get what you imagine or get what you want, or you just work on a deadline?
I have two ways for two different processes. For coming up with the idea and the writing part, I'm very slow,
Mm,
and I take a lot of time. In fact, just to decide on which subject to do next, I take sometimes 3 to 6 months just to
mm.
arrive at something. But on the shooting, I'm very quick. So all my 5 films have been shot in 50 odd days. Nothing has even touched 60.
Where do you get your ideas for your movies?
I don't aim at bringing in a new genre as such.
Mm,
I want to give a new audio-visual experience with each film, and I want to make it as theatrical as possible for the audience. And once I'm convinced that that the subject which I choose has scope for a new visual, then then I'm convinced that okay, we can travel, because each film is a matter of 1.5 years.
There's usually, when your movie comes out, there's a comparison to another Hollywood film. For example, Tick 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 Tick. There was this Armageddon, and then so how do you react to this comparison? For example, while working on Teddy, do you think that there'll be a comparison with the Ted Hollywood film?
Initially, when we released just the title poster, there was a lot of comparison.
Mm,
But once the trailer came and they saw that it's actually a action thriller, with
mm,
Teddy as a character, people realized that the plot is different.
mm,
So slowly, people are understanding that the genre is not a story. Like zombie is a genre, but
mm,
it's not a story. There can be hundreds and thousands of movies, with zombies, but that does not make it a story. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
you make a movie with a robot, that doesn't mean it's 2.0.
mm.
So that understanding is slowly coming to the audience as well.
What is the inspiration behind Teddy?
It's a very organic way the story has come. Though it's got so many flavors, everything has shaped up very seamlessly and organically for this one. I feel all stories, all characters come from human emotions. Whether it's
Mm,
we are the dialogues are going to be said by a teddy bear toy or a human being. The writing of a film comes from human emotions. So
mm.
that is the essence of every film.
So, what is the process of putting uh, Teddy Bear in a live action film?
For the teddy bear, 4 departments were involved.
Mm,
There was a toy factory in Thailand who
mm,
made the costume. Second,
mm,
on the spot, there was a theater artist called Gokul. He wore the suit and performed, and the body language and the dialogues, everything. He performed as an artist, being the
mm,
Teddy character. And thirdly, we did the performance capture of the emotions, and the CG team had animated the character to perform.
mm,
So their contribution is obviously it's going to be noticed big time once the film comes out. And fourthly, the dubbing artist, the voiceover artist, a person called Mini from Kerala. She dubbed for the teddy bear character. She's done a lot of cartoons and fantasy
mm.
films. So all these 4 together makes up that one character.
We have such high concept films, right? So, when you're going to shoot a movie, how do you deal with the budget constraints? What is the budget? How do you handle that challenges?
Because I'm doing a new genre or a high CG film, I don't cross what normally would be the budget for that particular artist combination. That is
Mm,
that is the metric I always work with. So I compensate for the additional CG and the action and the special elements by shooting quickly and make sure the quality is not compromised.
What can you tell us about the characters of Arya and the rest of the team?
Arya bro plays a obsessive compulsive loner, OCD loner, and we've done and his hero introduction song is Enni Niya Tanimiya, which we have released, and his character is it's very defined and it's etched out, very clearly. So I think his character, because of the posters, there's a lot of talk on the teddy bear character, but I think after release, a lot of people will talk about him and his character.
It's a medical thriller, right? Medical crime related film. What kind of study and what kind of research went into bringing the script?
Medical thriller angle is it's very integral to this film, and so far we can only reveal about that aspect of what we have talked about in the trailer. But it plays out as a full-fledged medical thriller. That is the central plot, and the film propels on this plot throughout.
I just wanted to ask you, what is your writing process? Does it come to you easy, or you look for somebody to give you a full-bound script so that you can just focus on directing?
Take a lot of time to decide, like I told you, and by decide, it doesn't mean just choosing the genre. It means I need to see the film as a whole, as an organic whole in my head, and only after that, I start, talking to people, or even getting into the full-fledged dialogues of the film. Before that, I'll be jotting one-liners and stuff like that. But the meat of the work happens after that. But for this, the instigation period is very long. That's my process. I think that is why I'm able to also, pull off these unbelievable films, because I make sure that in my head it's organic.
So while writing in your head, are there these doubts and uncertainties, because most of your films are such, I'll say like surreal, or eye concept. Do you think that because the suspension of disbelief is very important to to encourage among the audience? So how do you deal with your self doubts and uncertainties, questions when you're
self doubt? I feel is a darkest friend, and during the idea stage, I live with self doubt for those 3 to 6 months, and once I'm convinced myself, only then I go on to the next stage. And self doubt is, it's an integral part of being for any craftsman, and for a writer director, then it's got to be their best friend.